YouTube, having a wee telly day today. So this is the guitar I was playing. I did a video of it the other day. What's in the box one. This is a... Oh... You looked it up, what did it say? It's an American Special Telecaster. US 18, so 2018 American Special. Tex-Mex pickups. I'm going to be swapping these over for noiseless versions. My pal who owns this has like a computer screen and all that for his recording, so he's basically sitting, he can't get more than about a foot away from his amp, so he needs noiseless pickups, which is fair enough. So I'm going to do a wee run. He also owns this guitar here, the one with the fantastic J Mascis one. So I'm going to compare the two. I'm not sure. I think this has got its own custom special pickups for the J Mascis guy. Oh, he's right, you know. No, I was going the Goto bridge I bought from the Kraken has I thought there was something wrong with it. But this bridge is the same. See if you look at this will be like a vintage spec thing. See if you look here, it's kind of there's a shiny bit there, and that's kind of like a sort of matte. That's what the original was, because I fitted it to the Goto to my guitar, and I thought, oh, something wrong with it. Then I decided to have a look at the specs, and it actually mentions the shiny bit, which is what the original Fenders had. So that's a more vintage correct bridge than this one. Both say Fender patent pending, but this one is all shiny. Oh no, it's not. Yes, it is. It's just dusty. Yeah, so this one's getting new pickups in it. So I'm going to compare the two together. Running through the orange there. Just a reverb on. And remember what that is, I'm going to swap over to the other guitar. To be totally honest, I didn't expect that for this one. The sound, the pickup, I like the pickup better. This might be this. Looking up American tellies, there's a couple, and I just looked up guitar very quickly. There was one of these for sale, second hand for £1,000. So I'm assuming 1,500 quid new, something like that. Was it 2018 as well? Something like that. It doesn't say in the back, it's got his signature instead. So I'm thinking second hand is probably, if it's a grand second hand, it's probably 14, 15 new. And the Telecasters are a summer sale on where they're like 1,100 quid, but they're normally 14 for just the bog standard ones. So it's probably kind of the same sort of price. I thought it would be quite an interesting comparison. If you're buying a Mexican one or you're buying an American one, and they're both similar prices. And okay, this is the special signature J Mascis one, but the signature really means cool glittery paint job, metal scratch plate, and custom pickups. The rest of it feels very much same or very similar. I think this has got like what you would like a worn in neck or something like that, maybe sort of almost going to the relic area. It might have a nitro neck actually, because it's kind of scratched in the back. So maybe there's something funny about it. I don't mean the dimensions are pretty much the same, more the whatever the feeling is. I think it might be nitro, or also I think it seems to be much more taut. Oh, that's interesting. Now that I see it, I think the big difference is top loaded. I think it makes a difference. I thought it made a difference anyway, but I'm now more convinced. Like, it sounds brighter and more powerful unplugged, which is what's coming through that pickup. I'm pretty sure that like the American and the Mexican ones are made in this. If they start off as the same thing, you always hear these stories, but I think that the two factories are only like 150 miles apart or something like that. The one in Mexico and the one in California, whatever it is, in America, and so I think the kind of all the bodies and necks are all roughly built in America, and then the Mexican ones go to Mexico where they finish them and build them and put parts on, do all that stuff. So you can either have an American guitar built in Mexico by Mexicans, or you can have an American guitar built in America by Mexicans. But I think it's just purely down to it's like the spec, how much time. I don't think there's really. I'd imagine the more premium of the woods they're buying will go into the American ones, and the ones that maybe don't have as nice a grain or whatever get sent down to Mexico to get finished. But I mean, a maple neck's a maple neck. That's the most important bit, and they feel very similar. But I prefer that bridge pickup. Also, that this one might have fewer strings in that, which might that kind of difference. And then this one in the middle it's phased, so I'll not be using that sound. So that's the neck. Switch back. I've been tempted to say there does seem to be a difference between top loading. But I mean, neck-wise, I'm not even sure. It doesn't really feel that different. Maybe that one's. It's either kind of like a sort of pre-worn vintagey type feel thing that they've done on it, or somebody's just played that a bit. I don't think this one's ever been played. This one still has very much a sort of I've never been played before. Oh, that chord I've never played that before. You know, I could play. This guitar's never played that chord before. I don't think I've never played that chord before. That's very much like the. But I like the middle position on a Tele. I have to say that if that was mine, I wouldn't have that pickup phased, but I would probably. If it was mine and it was just passing through, you know, got in a trade, I would put a push-pull tone in, so when you pulled it up, it put it back in phase, so you still get it if you want it, you know, as a sort of secret weapon, because although the phase sound is useful and stuff, I wouldn't trade it for the middle pickup. The middle sound on a Tele. There's 3 best sounds on a Tele. So I'm all for adding more, but I don't want to lose any of the 3 originals. But relax. That's a tough one. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at these both being about the same price, because I'm thinking they were both about £1,500 new, and probably in their used state. Well, if a guitar shop selling them for £1,000, 900, something like that. You know, that kind of ballpark. So it comes down to, which Tele would I buy? I'll just go for play the snob card immediately. I'd take the American one. Because it's an American Fender. It's a real Telecaster. I don't have a real Telecaster. This one sounds better and plays better. Elements that are different. It's got a top loading bridge instead of being strung through the back. And it's got different pickups. Apart from that, I think it's pretty much the same. Okay, you know, something like, you know, a slightly road-worn feeling neck, you know, like rolled edges and stuff like that. You know, that'll happen anyway. I wouldn't really count that in it. I do obviously love the colour. I suppose I would be slightly put off with the, you know, the signature aspect of it, because although it's very cool, it's like that whole thing about me having the Paul Gilbert guitar, whatever that is. If I turn up somewhere playing the Paul Gilbert, oh, you're a massive Paul Gilbert, I'm playing you know, technical difficulties, and it's like, I don't know to do any of that. That's because I kind of do know what these songs sound like, whereas this one, it's Dinosaur Jr., and I don't know anything about them. But I looked up a couple of YouTube videos, just like their big hits, which might not be representative of their musical output, but I don't like it. That whole era is kind of like a kind of music. Oh, very 90s. Oh yeah, totally. Oh, I remember that being about when Britpop was about. I hated Britpop too. So it's like for taste, I would probably take that one. But I mean, definitely the pickups in this one are better than those ones, or more to my taste. This guitar seems much lighter and more brash and screamy. That's more sedate and accurate. Yeah. This one just sounds really good. I wonder, in case you think I'm doing any sort of trickery between swapping these over, you know, I'm not. I get, or the strings. The strings on this might be a bit older. I think, to be honest, I prefer the neck on this one because it's new. Whereas I've got lots of old beat up guitars with worn in, road smoothed off edges. I don't have any new ones. Well, I've got that FGN, which is I still class as new. So I would just, for the sheer difference of it, but I've got plenty of road worn ones. I'd like to wear one in myself. It's hard to describe. That there's definitely quite a big difference in sound. There's a much bigger difference in sound than there is in playability. Playing wise, they're both the same. This one's got slightly higher action. So I mean, as I said, this afternoon I'm going to swap the pickups over for this for a Fender noiseless set. So I wonder if that other guitar will still have pickups. When I say sounds better, more to my taste, I think is more more to the point. It's more for distortion. I like the distortion a bit more. It's a bit brighter and stuff. But I suppose while I'm here, I'm going to test out, because I was playing my FGN earlier on. And I'm not even sure this is in the same league. Every time you see one of these, someone's always changed the pickups. I thought the original pickup sounded pretty good. So here we go, a not fender. Totally copied the neck profile, so it feels exactly the same. But I don't imagine it's... I've got the action too low on this. This is a guitar without a tune. Mind you, I was saying this one sounded better. Maybe it's the tune that's making it sound better. I need a new power supply. This one is shite. Hear that noise coming through? See, I would say this sounds more like that one than that one. I don't think it's necessarily a pickup quality thing. It's a pickup type. I think there's, you know, that whole thing, you get like your hotter pickups or more vintage wine pickups, and it's like, is a hotter one better than a low output one? It depends whether you like hotter pickups more than vintage ones, more than either of them being better than the other. That pickup there sounds like a better version of this pickup, whereas that sounds like a different pickup. Put it that way. Yeah, I do have to mention that I'm just going to go full hog and just... See, this was another one sitting there. This is not relevant to most things, to anything really, but I'm doing it anyway just for the sake of it. Because this does have a bridge pickup in it. The chances of it being in tune are probably quite low though. I'd much prefer it with a guitar just a wee bit lower. I noticed that those straps, the reason they were lying in the floor is they don't quite go long enough. Got the action set too low in so many of my guitars. This one plays itself. Or maybe because the frets are so low is probably why the action seems so low in some of these. Again, I would say this pickup is again more like that. So maybe that's that Texas Special thing. Are Texas Specials not like the hot overwound? Everyone likes hot because hot's better pickups. I bet you that. I think that's probably what it is. Whereas these are, well, this is actually vintage. This is from '74, and I think that one and that one are vintage spec low output pickups. which means that if you're trying to play Megadeth or Korn or something on it, when you're using 4 distortion pedals running into each other, it turns into a mushy mess. When you're playing through a wee valve amp with a rat pedal or just with its distortion channel, it just becomes distorted so early you don't need any gain. So you just end up with, without using any distortion, you get like a pure mega power tone. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a fair representation for these things. Obviously, you can't do a which one's better thing because obviously these are cost 10 times as much as that. But I love the finish on this one's my favourite out of these 4. I think, even though the sparkly blue is amazing. This is more defined. I think that's what's coming in there. It's like the other 3. I'm putting the other 3 in the same category as being they distort earlier, so they're not as it's not as defined a note, which is lovely for when you're using distortion. It makes it feel alive and bah, you know what I mean. Whereas this doesn't do that as much, but it's much more controlled. It's much more expensive sounding. It doesn't seem to have responded the same to the rat pedal. It's not as distorted as the other 3 were because it's got a higher output pickup, I think, so what's happened. So I'm interested to see what this sounds like with the vintage pickups. I'm not going to do this. I was going to do this as a live wire. I'm not going to because I have memories of this. And there's something funny. I can't remember what it is because I'm sure Ian said to me that these are 2 sets of noiseless pickups from different sets, and I'm sure that I remember taking these to bits. Are these not? I've not actually looked at them yet. No, maybe not actually. I kind of recognise the. It's kind of weird the way they've got like solder terminals on them and stuff like that. I'm sure that the one I had before had a, you know, like the EMG quick connect thing, like the wee fan clip they're called in computers, you know, like the wee white box with the prongs on it, so the wires to connect on. I think I had to solder onto the cables to take that and had to basically work out what everything did to do it. That one's just got wires coming off it. So there's 3, so basically start, finish and an earth. Easy, so that's like going to be super easy to work out which way that goes. 50-50 chance of it being out of phase in the middle position, but hey, that's just a case of swapping the 2 wires over. I will very much leave those wires with enough wire and easy to swap over in case that happens. So maybe I will do a live wire for that. Yeah, I would have this one. Partly again because that's it's a signature thing of a band. But I mean, in saying that, if I really love the colour, which I could, I mean, see if you talked to me maybe not a year ago, 18 months ago, I would have gone for that one because, oh my god, look at the bright colours. Yes, I am different. I will have a bright coloured, super sparkly and amazing looking Telecaster, totally. Now, I've seen so many J-Pax guitars. Oh, just wood colour. Oh, how relaxing on the eyes. Especially I was at that Braehead shopping centre with 10 J-Paxes and all the things. They do your head in. Just the general chaos and brightness of it. I've kind of get used to, I think my Bug's sort of one of the more sedate ones. It kind of looks like there's dark shadows, like it's in the shadows. It's not. That's actually part of the paintwork. But it's kind of not. It's not as mad as a lot of them when they're all bright colours. This thing is, especially see, they all look completely different, right? But see when you've got 5 together that are all looking completely different. This one's so pink that it boggles your brain. Then right next to it, there's one that's got blue, and it's just like they're all different types of insanity. There's one hanging there no one's seen yet, which is possibly the best one yet. I've had it for a while. Jen doesn't even know I assume she remembers painting it, but wonders what happened to it. No, this is I might lower the action a wee bit on this. Could do a wee bit of truss rodding. Although in saying that, I quite like the action being a wee bit high on it. How's this? When I say a wee bit high, it's kind of just over 1.5mm. I know what I consider to be too low is 1.25. I keep setting my guitars to 1.25. This is just a ball hair over 1.5, which is about right. So I think just a wee tiniest turn of that truss rod will just bring it down to 1.5, which is right. This, out of the 4 Teles we played, the most similar neck to this is on that one. That might be to do with the finish on it. Or maybe just the fact it's not really been played that much. Whereas that one is 40 years old, so been played tons. And that one, 50 years old. And that one is, I suspect, treated somehow. Not relict as such, but something like that to make it seem more worn in. Because it's only a 3 or 4 year old guitar. It feels worn in somehow. Extra sanding. Some sort of different finish. Even there's like slightly sharp fret edges, only because it's never been played. Not sharp at all, but feelable. After 40 years of fingers going up and down, it kind of smoothed it out a wee bit. Yeah, so Fender Telecaster. I played 4 Teles today. Yeah, there you go. I don't have very many more Teles. Well, only 2 of them are mine. And I think I might have managed to. I think Jen might want to buy my Washburn Tour 24, so that's me down a Tele as well. Like, oh. So that brings me down to. There was at one point I had 12 Telecasters. I did when I was at the last house. And I've been. It's so tempted to buy every single JPAX one. I've not taken any of them. There is a. So what I've got left Telecaster wise is the FGN, the CSL, the Antoria, which is similar to that, but without the, it's a standard Tele, and the Schecter, which is same colour as that, 2 humbuckers. So I've got 4 Teles, that's respectable. Had a Teleacoustic, sold it. Had lots of Chinese ones, sold them. I think I've still got, I suppose technically I've still got my, I've got the Fender 6 Telecaster bass that I made. But I mean, just the 4 Telecasters. Almost making sense as well, having one with, one's SHS, that one's just 2 single coils, that one's a humbucker and a single coil, and the Schecter is 2 humbuckers. So they're all different. I keep thinking there's another Tele sitting somewhere that I've not thought about, but I don't think there is. Had a few. I do like a Tele. Actually, Temu's got. Need to put that knob back on again. It's sitting. It's like it's rubbing on the surface of the metal. It's basically what you've got to do is you unscrew the wee screw, lift it up 1mm and tighten it back up again, just so it's not sitting quite as flush. You know, the actual edge of the knob is touching the metal and kind of causing a wee bit of friction. Get rid of that. No, Temu's got Telecaster bodies for 17 quid. I'm looking about and I've got bits to do and things. My next project, which will be tomorrow's video probably, I am those pickups I bought for £6.06 for a set of Seymour Duncan Invader looking pickups. I'm going to put them in a Yamaha ERG, see if it's worth an upgrade. Probably that might be a 3-part video or something, or I might do editing in it, maybe. But there you go, I talked half an hour for this one, so I apologise for that, and I will try and do shorter 5-minute videos. Once I get the sound all upgraded, I'll do some more normal videos on the guitars where I'm not talking for 20 minutes, where I literally talk for 3 minutes telling you what the guitar is, and then play it recorded well. Less than 10-minute video. It just does give me an excuse to do that, like a normie series where I'll not be doing crazy stuff. I'll just be demonstrating guitars, because I've got a lot. Rock on, like and subscribe. Catch you all later. Love you all.